has won a lawsuit against a number of Chinese factories for illegally creating counterfeit trademark products. The Manhattan court says the factory must pay $100 million.
I honestly think that Walmart is about to get sued, allegedly. In my last video on this Wirkin, Birkin, Walmart Birkin thing that has everyone talking, I did mention that the original posting of this Walmart Birkin had been taken down, and as soon as I saw this bag, the first thing that came to my mind was that looks so much like a Birkin. Like, it looks so much like a Birkin. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why I think that Walmart might be getting sued, and why I think that if they do end up getting sued, they're probably going to lose. And also a bit more of some of what's been going on. There have been cancelled orders, there have been posts taken down, and this has even caught on to like mainstream news. My initial video on this Walmart Birkin actually came quite late. Like, there were loads of other creators who were doing videos on this bag, I'd say probably for like the last month. It's definitely not something that I had super sight of. We don't get Walmart in the UK, so anything that gets super popular on there doesn't usually get tons of my attention because it's not really something that I can ever access. But although conversations have been swirling for a while, it seems to have really picked up. Like, the conversation about, is this bag appropriate? Is this bag fair play? You know, democratizing the Birkin, making sure that everybody has access to it. Is it a counterfeit bag? Is it a dupe? All of these kind of conversations have really just seemed to ramp up. And I know that everybody feels quite passionately about this conversation. I have not personally shopped counterfeit bags, although I do love a dupe, guys. I do love an inspired bag. And so I think it would be helpful for us to actually define the difference between the two, because sometimes even I use the two words interchangeably when they're actually different. So according to Google AI, a dupe is a replica of a luxury designer bag that has a similar design and functionality but is sold at a similar price. Dupes are different from counterfeit products because counterfeit products are direct copies of the original and are made to deceive people, whereas dupes are legal and don't claim to be the original product or reproduce its trademarked logos. So to me, a dupe is something that is inspired or looks similar to a product that is trademarked. So for example, there was a time, I think it's kind of settled down a bit now, but there was a time where the Bottega Veneta Jodie bag, you could probably like go into your local supermarket or your local high street store, go into your local Zara and find a bag that looks quite similar to that bag. And I think that's fine. I think actually at this point, it's quite hard to create something that doesn't look like something else, right? I think if we were asked to create a handbag that doesn't look like any other handbag that's ever existed, it would be very hard. I think that this Walmart Birkin bag, in my opinion, is a counterfeit bag. Like, it looks so much like a Birkin. Like, I cannot stress that enough. And I think that's part of why people really enjoyed the bag. I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with it looking so much like a Birkin personally. But I definitely think that that's going to be a problem for Hermès. And if I was Hermès, that would be a problem for me too, right? Like, you can't make a bag that looks like a spitting image of my bag and not give me credit and not run me my money, okay? There was a conversation in my comments actually around maybe Walmart not being afraid of legal action, that maybe this Walmart bag is kind of leveling the playing field, which is something I kind of alluded to in the title of that video, which some people were in their feelings about. But if I was Walmart, I probably wouldn't want to get into that fight. I think people are correct in that Walmart are worth much more than Hermes, but I think sometimes people underestimate the amount of money that it can cost to get into a legal fight. The time that it takes, all the resources that you have to give to it, all of the negative or positive social media or just general media attention that it's going to get you, the effect that it can have long term on your brand. All of these things are going to cost you lots of money. And it's even worse if you lose. Okay, it's even worse if you lose. I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, but I would say that Walmart would have a tough time defending this bag. And I say that even more so because Hermes has already sued a company in Italy and won. So in 2009, Hermes filed a lawsuit against Booty. They alleged that Booty was a company attempting to mark unauthorized copies of the Hermes, Kelly and Birkin bags. When I did my initial video, there was a bit of conversation around, would Hermes even have a leg to stand on, because there's no branding on this bag, and therefore there wouldn't necessarily be a position that Hermes could take that this was a copy. However, Hermes does have trademarks on the Birkin bags in Japan, the United States and Italy, and you'll see that their trademark doesn't just cover branding, it covers some design too. So their trademark in fact covers what is called the trade dress. So that includes the rectangular sides and bottom, the dimpled triangular profile, the horizontal regular strap with a padlock eye opening, and in this case the courts ordered in favor of Hermes. And this is not the only occasion where Hermes has sued and won, right?
And the verdict for the Birkin case is in. The jury found that Rothschild did in fact infringe on Hermès' trademark and awarded Hermès $133,000 in damages.
I definitely think that the report of customers saying that their orders have been cancelled.
My Walmart Birkin order was canceled yesterday. They had plenty in stock when I ordered it.
I was so excited for my Walmart Birkin, or what people are calling Birkin. But today I got a message stating that my order was canceled.
Or they can't find the listing anywhere anymore. You know, the listing has gone. Has been partly to do with Hermes nudging Hermes, you know, giving them a call, writing them a letter and letting them know that they might need to slow down, right? They might need to do something about it. I went onto the Walmart website yesterday, and who knew that they actually sell legitimate Hermes bags? They literally sell legitimate Birkins. And so I don't know, they've done kind of like a heel turn, and they're like, actually, no, you came here for a Birkin. Here are loads of actual Birkins. Like, here is the Birkin. I personally think that they might have had a little change of heart. I definitely don't think that they expected this bag to garner so much attention.
Walmart, ladies and gentlemen, has put out a handbag that seems to be inspired by the famous Hermes Birkin bag.
Yeah, this is Walmart?
And yes, it is, and it has become a hit.
Oh, wow.
It looks very,
yes, that
very
one does.
similar to it.
I just don't think that they were prepared for it. And I do know that this bag was sold through a third-party seller, or actually there was more than one seller. So it seems as though there was an initial seller and then there were other sellers. I haven't seen any confirmation anywhere about whether some of these sellers were selling the same bag. I do know that some bags were being advertised as leather bags and some weren't being advertised as leather bags. Some of them were being advertised as PU leather bags. I also know that there was a time where it seemed that they were putting up the price of the bag.
So the Walmart Birkin bag sold out. It was originally like $40 to $50. Now that they're back in stock, they're like $100. Same with TikTok Shop.
And there were a few content creators who were talking about whether it actually even made sense to buy a bag that was that expensive from Walmart. $100 for a bag from Walmart wasn't really making sense for them. It's a bit hard to keep track of all the timelines because everything seems to be moving so fast. But I do think that they probably started upping the prices of the bag, which makes sense because that's, you know, business. That's what companies tend to do. When things increase in popularity, they usually up the price. So I think maybe they tried that strategy first. Maybe release the bag, realize that it was going viral, kind of stop selling the bag, I think maybe to gather themselves, then release the bag again through these third-party sellers. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I actually did do some law at university, but I'm not a lawyer, right? So I do know, yes, they are selling this bag through a third-party seller, but I don't actually think that's going to make a difference from them because they are acting as a storefront for these brands. So I think they put the bag out, it went viral, got a bit scared, pulled back, stopped selling the bag, released the bag again at a higher price point because everybody wants the bag. So okay, here we go. And then I think it just really picked up pace. And I think that they had some contact from Hermes and then made a choice, right? So I don't necessarily think that this bag is going to come back. It's January 2025. I would be surprised if this bag reappeared on Walmart past this month. I definitely don't think that they will be selling this bag en masse to everybody who wants it with all of this attention that it's getting. I just don't think it's going to happen. Other than being an annoyance for Hermes, I don't necessarily think it's going to affect the brand at all. I definitely think that Hermes is speaking to a particular customer that Walmart isn't necessarily speaking to, and if anything, it's just increase the notoriety, increase the awareness of the Birkin bag, which will work in Hermes's interest in the long run anyway.